Nah, fam, I want to talk about this R. Kelly situation and how black people just don't get it. Um, they want to blame slavery for the reason why he was addicted to young girls. I'll just say this: if we want to go back far enough, pretty much a lot of our dysfunction started with slavery. I mean, it started with, you know, basically, niggas didn't want to leave the plantation because they had it too good. They ain't know what to do. The master take care of us. We ain't going nowhere. So there was slaves were so fucked up. They felt that it was better for them to stay in that situation than leave and go out on their own. So black people have been mentally fucked up from slavery for years to come. But it's been said or alleged that R. Kelly was molested by his sister. Start with her. And then the person that molested her, start with them. And that's not true that molestation goes on in every black family. I can't say no one in my family was molested by anybody in my family, but I can say nobody in my family molested me, and I molested nobody in my family. I've heard so much deflection about, well, why haven't they brought up charges against Harvey Weinstein and all that rape that goes on with little boys in the Catholic Church? Who gives a fuck? First of all, we all know that when it comes to the judicial system, black people don't get equal treatment. So stop bitching about that shit. You know what it is. How about you don't go out and you don't break any laws? Then you won't have to worry about what punishment you get as opposed to what punishment a Caucasian person gets. Let's start with that. And, also talk about the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is basically the molestation of young white boys. R. Kelly was molesting the total opposite demographic. Not total graphic, total, 2 out of 3. Young black females, which is pretty much 2/3 the opposite of young white males. So basically, we shouldn't give a fuck because the Catholic Church isn't violating our children. R. Kelly is. So there should have been a cry a long time ago as to why this nigga is not facing charges. Everybody saw the video, or I didn't see it. To me, that kind of goes off into, anybody who, because people said to me, yo, have you seen the video? What the fuck do I want to see that for? Why do I want to see that? That's child pornography. I don't want to see that shit. But anyway, all of us know that he urinated on a 14-year-old girl. That was about 15 years ago when that happened. So there was no outcry then, and R. Kelly wasn't in tears then. But the real dysfunction in the black community, well, it ain't no, we said it yesterday, ain't no community, just a bunch of niggas with knowledge that claim they have knowledge. Okay? That's what it is. No black community, just niggas claiming to have knowledge. Some actually do, but, real recognize real. A lot of them don't. I talked about it yesterday. There's a lot of bickering and fighting going on. So yeah, a lot of us want to say slavery, 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 but let's start with the generate. Well, let's start with the molestation of him, and then the person that molested his sister, and the person that molested his sister, the person that molested them is probably dead. And also, do you realize where a lot of this touching on people comes from, touching on kids? It actually comes from when people, black members of families, become in prison, they get turned out in there, and then they come back and they stay with a relative because they don't, they don't have anything when they come home. You ever heard that? Yo, I just came home. Nigga don't have shit when he just come home. So you got to stay with a relative and, 14-year-old daughter, 14-year-old son. It don't matter. They're not. That's a little too. It'll say 10-year-old son, daughter of the family member that you're living with. That's where you get your violations from most of the time. That's mostly where it comes from. A family member that was in prison and comes out and has to live with another family member who has young children. That's where it comes from, man. But the biggest dysfunction is the fact that a black woman bailed him out. Think about that. That is the dysfunction of black women. Y'all follow after the most dysfunctional motherfuckers, which it's really a good thing that I no longer lust for women in general. So therefore, I can just sit back and watch y'all crash and burn because it's like I said, there's no lust there for any woman. So that means you can't use the magical powers of your vagina to get me to do anything for you. So it's like, take you out for a drink for what? I don't want shit from you. But what we really do need to do is not watch any of these documentaries. No more of this finding, what is it? Leaving Neverland. We don't need to watch that. Not even to get the fact Michael Jackson's dead. So what they gonna do? That lets you know right there how they going after motherfuckers. If they're going after people that have been deceased for 10 years, not quite 10 years, but close enough to 10 years, that, he's been dead long enough that they don't need to be worried about what the fuck he did when he was alive. Seriously. So, no more Neverland, Finding Neverland or Leaving Neverland, whatever the fuck it's called. No more of that. No more of this R. Kelly shit. Who else they talking about getting? Who knows? Who cares? But it'll be a black motherfucker before too long that they try to get. But we need to not even look at that shit because we know it's propaganda against black men. We know that. Just like we know that we don't get the fair treatment in the judicial system. We know that too. So stop bitching about it.